Infinite mana, infinite damage, drawing our whole deck. He could only be one deck in Pauper. I'm talking about Walls combo. That's what we're playing today. Let's go see the full deck list. The second league of the day. The first one was a 5-0 with Pioneer Lotus Field combo. We're looking to replicate that here in the second league of the day with Pauper combo walls. How does this deck function? Well, the first thing you need to know that it's essentially Defender Tribal. You have things like Cerulean Caretaker, Crashing Drawbridge, Tuk Tuk Rubble Fort, not Rumble Fort, Rubble Fort. I learned that recently. I apologize for my previous videos. And then you have Overgrown Battlement, where it makes a green mana for each creature with Defender, or Axebane Guardian, which makes a mana of any color for each creature with Defender. So these are the Defender payoffs in the deck. And then you have Freed from the Real and Galvanic Alchemist. The idea is that you pair these cards together and you make infinite mana. With Overgrown Battlement, you do need the Irachi Leaf Color to filter the mana, but it's still infinite mana. Eventually, you play something like a Shield Wall Sentinel, which, by the way, huge upgrade in Dominaria United. Just printing a Defender that also is a searchable tutor in this deck, so huge. Or you can even tutor with Drift of Phantasms with the Transmute ability. And then you go get Valakut Invoker or a Third Path Savant, and you draw your entire deck or deal infinite damage. You can also use Secret Door to enter the dungeon infinitely. On Magic Online, it takes a lot of clicks, but it's an option you do have. In the sideboard, we have things to protect our combo, like Crimson Alkalite and Obsidian Alkalite, and then Dispel for opposing counterspell decks, same thing with Negate, Gorilla Shaman for Affinity, and then Tamiyo's Safekeeping for the mono red deck. This was a huge find. Not only is it life gain, it protects your combo. I think that this was a brilliant find by the Walls community. That's what we're playing today, a short and sweet deck. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the first match. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Round number 1, we're on the draw. Our opponent has kept 7. We don't have a second guaranteed mana. You do have the Cerulean Caretaker and the Jaspera Sentinel to create a mana, but you're not hitting your second mana until turn 3 at the earliest. I think that this hand is kind of just a trap. We're going to send it back for something a little bit better. And I would consider this hand to be a little bit better. We'll keep this. And we'll put the Shield Wall Sentinel on the bottom. I'm actually not a huge fan of Jaspera Sentinel. I have not played it in the past, and instead I've chosen to play Tinderwall. However, the deck list has become more and more color intensive recently, and I feel like Jaspera Sentinel is kind of just necessary if you're going to play all of these additional colors. But I really wish that they would just print another Cerulean Caretaker type card for us to play, because I'm not a big fan of this card. Alright, so they've opened up on the Pauper Goblin Guide, the best opener that the red deck currently has. Another Great Furnace, Rite of Flame. So they're on the Turbo Goblin build that Callicles has been championing. This is essentially just like mono red combo, and it's hyper fast. It's really, really efficient. It's pretty good at killing people quickly. So I'm not sure if we'll get a third turn. I hope we do, but nothing is guaranteed. They reveal another Name Sticker Goblin. Uh-oh. 2 cards left in their hand. They play the Goblin. 8 mana now. They bolt my Jaspera Sentinel. They have 1 card left in their hand. They use... Oh no, they're going to sacrifice the Synthesizer to Kuldotha Rebirth. And they hit another Synthesizer. I'm definitely being comboed here. Wow, what a turn 2. They play the Synthesizer. And they hit a Crimson Fleet Commander. Wow. Absolutely destroyed here. Or Commodore, I'm sorry. Wow. What a turn 2. Welcome to Pauper. It is not a low power format. Absolutely destroyed here. Yeah, there's nothing I could have done about this. So we'll take 2 going to 16. I mean, I guess if I drew exactly Freed from the Real, we'd stand a chance. Actually, does that even do it? I don't think it does. I'm not sure what a winning game looks like from here. Like, you could name 2 perfect draws, and I can't think of 2 that get me there. Definitely not land number 4 in our 13 land deck. Actually, rather than show our opponent what we're playing, I'm just going to concede. Like, we're not winning this, and they might not know that we're walls. Like, they might think that we're elves with this opener, so let's just try to win game number 2. I think we probably want the Tamiyo safekeeping. Secret Door can probably be boarded out. The problem is that Winding Away and Lead the Stampede get worse when you bring in non-creatures, so you're probably supposed to shave some number of them. We'll take out 1 of each, and then maybe 1 Shield Wall Sentinel. Like, those cards are all the top end of the deck, and we're not really looking to have a bunch of top end against the super low to the ground red deck. On the play. Sure, we'll keep. Okay, we're just going to play a basic forest and pass the turn. Mountain and pass. Okay, I like that. We have the Alchemist, so theoretically, you know, we have the combo in our hand. We just don't have enough defenders yet. So we're playing the Crashing Drawbridge and passing the turn. I even thought about playing 2 drawbridges and only 1 Rebel Fort, but every list plays 2 Rebel Fort, even though it's kind of hard to cast. I think there is a space to try out more copies of Drawbridge. Just being a 2-drop against like red is really huge, but also just like it does make you slightly faster. They have a Synthesizer here, okay. I think they sequenced kind of weirdly here, revealing the mountain. Like, you could have led on Synthesizer, played the mountain, and then played your Tomb Raider. They're going to attack, we'll just block. Sure. Do they have a Mutagenic Growth? Samian Spirit Guide. Bolt. Okay, sure. We'll draw. It's Aquarian Ranger. Am I supposed to Winding Way for a land here? I kind of feel like yes. Land? No land. Brutal. That was awkward. We will pass the turn. They have their 3rd land here. Kuldotha Rebirth. They reveal a Lotus Petal to the Synthesizer. They have 1 card left in their hand. They play the Petal. And now they'll attack for 2, and I'll go to 18. Okay. Draw. The Tamiyo safekeeping. We'll untap our forest, essentially, by using the Aquarian Ranger. This does guarantee a 3rd mana for next turn, but I wouldn't be able to protect the Axebane Guardian. So their last card is the Crimson Fleet Commodore. So they're attacking for 5, so I'll go to 13. Yeah, no blocks. So 13. So they have 10 damage next turn. So if I tap out, I could just be dead. Because they're going to draw an extra card here off the Monarch as well. Should I feel like I'm supposed to safekeeping here. Oh, I should have blocked and then... I'm a dummy. I should have blocked and then played the safekeeping. They've used 1 bolt. I think I'm just going to keep the safekeeping. It doesn't feel worth it. We find the land. Alright. Axebane Guardian. And I kind of just have to hope that our opponent has duds here. It's the only way that we realistically get to win this game. They play a mountain. They have 2 cards in their hand. He kicked Goblin Bushwhacker. I am fairly confident that I'm dead now. I'm trying to think of... I don't think there's a way I can block to stay alive. Interesting. They left 1 back. That's weird. Alright, so block there. So this would be 8, 13. So I have to block with Aquarian Ranger. Yeah, it's unfortunate. If I had 1 more life, I wouldn't have to block. Okay, let's, pull a rabbit out of a hat here. Draw for turn. That's not a bad start. Lead the Stampede. Okay. Also, Jasper Sentinel not being a creature with Defender, not ideal. I don't think this does it. No, I'm pretty sure I'm dead. We needed more things with Defender. If I can make a green. I needed the other Aquarian Ranger. I think with the other Aquarian Ranger, maybe I could have. But I just don't have enough mana to win at this point. We can untap the Axebane Guardian, return the forest. Yeah, I just don't think that this is a game I can win. Play the Battlement. We'll pass. Alright, I'm definitely not beating another Goblin Bushwhacker. Alright, we got destroyed in the first match. We were 0-1. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Match number 2, we're on the play. This seems fine. We'll try this. We will start off by playing Cerulean Caretaker. Pass the turn. Okay. Overgrown Battlement was a good draw here. We'll play that. Pass the turn. Can't use the mana off of the Caretaker here. I don't have any 1-drops. They cycle a Lorien Revealed. Sure. Another Battlement. Let's play Battlement. Tap for 3. Play an Axebane Guardian, and we'll send it back. They kill my Axebane Guardian, and now they have Counterspell mana open. Let's try another Axebane Guardian. That resolved. Winding Way. We'll choose Creature. Not having a lot of luck with that so far. Tap for 4. Play the Irachi Leafcaller. And then we'll use it to filter into blue. Filter into blue. Transmute Drift of Phantasms. And we'll grab a Galvanic Alchemist. Pass the turn. And step they spread on my Axebane Guardian again. They Izzet Charm my Leafcaller. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. And then they're going to bolt my Caretaker. Uh-oh. We are all of a sudden without colors. We draw Freed from the Real. We are forced to pass the turn. Earlier I mentioned how color intensive this deck became. We're seeing it firsthand. Another Crimson Fleet Commodore. Draw for turn. Another forest. We must pass. They play an Augur of Bolas. They find Counterspell. Valerian Terror. I believe we've lost this game. Sure. I'll play a Cerulean Caretaker. They attack for 10. We'll go to 5. We know that they have Counterspell in hand. Can't imagine that we win this. Yeah, this just doesn't win. Okay, going into game number 2. Brutal. I believe we want the counterspells in this matchup. We're also interested in the Crimson Acolyte. You could board in Tamiyo Safekeeping as well. So these are all things we're allowed to do. If you want to do this plan, I think you're supposed to board out your bigger cards like Lead the Stampede and Winding Way. And just accept that like you're exchanging the type of spells you want to play post-board. And I'm not against trying this. Just accepting that you're losing your consistency cards. We could probably board down a couple copies of Shield Wall. It's sort of expensive against the Counterspell deck. Alright, on the play for game number 2. Nope. Are we really supposed to go to 5? Our opponent kept 7. I'm going to keep it and probably lose the game. I don't think mulliganing to 5 against the Izzet deck is a good idea. We'll play turn 1 Cerulean Caretaker, pass the turn. So in my Cycle Storm videos, like for my end of the year deck updates, I said like the best combo deck in Pauper, and there was a couple people that are like, actually, I believe it's Walls combo, which is fine. I like Walls a lot. However, people are allowed to have their own opinions, even if, you know, I don't agree with them. And the thing about Walls combo is, the thing about Pauper is the best interaction that exists is creature removal. Hands down. You have Snap, Snuff Out, like there's tons of really insane cards. Lightning Bolt, and Cycle Storm doesn't really care about any of those. It does care about Graveyard Hate, but I think just like your combo deck being weak to the most popular thing in the format hurts. I guess that's my point here. We'll play Caretaker. And now we'll tap, and let's play the Acolyte. Counter target spell, sure. Pass the turn. They play a Ponder. And I'm not trying to trash Walls here. Like, in fact, I like this deck so much that I bought it completely Japanese foil, and now I'm working on getting it signed. Like, there's something wrong with Walls. It's really a fine deck. But I just think that being a creature deck leaves you open to the most common things in the format. And I'll quit repeating myself, but it's kind of just how I feel about the whole thing. We'll play a Shield Wall Sentinel. That resolves. So I can make another mana here. So I can play something that costs 2. I think it's just supposed to be an Axebane Guardian. And I'm 1 mana short of being able to play it, so we'll pass. They have 4 mana now. They scred my Overgrown Battlement and then play an Augur of Bolas. They find a Lorien Revealed. Dispel? Yay, that was the best draw we had there. Okay. Play the Axebane. Pass the turn. They Brainstorm. Hopefully our Axebane Guardian lives. They shuffle their deck using Lorien Revealed. They have a guaranteed 4th land. They play it. Unfortunate. So I was hoping that they were going to lead on something else. Like play a Tolarian Terror or something that taps them low and then bolt. So that way they couldn't counterspell my Dispel. Our opponent's the trophy leader, fun fact. So they're probably not going to make silly mistakes like that. But somehow my Dispel resolves. Sweet. And they find Breath Weapon. This is my window to win this game. It's now or never. Okay, so we can make 4 blue, transmute the Drift of Phantasms. We'll go grab Freed from the Real, put it on the Axebane, and now we'll make a blue, and we'll untap, make 4 more mana, and now we'll untap it again, untap it again. Let's play Shield Wall Sentinel. Maybe they'll concede to this, and they do. Okay, so now we're going to game number 3. I got away with one there. I'm really surprised we won with that opening hand, but I'll take it. Submit. Yeah, this hand's pretty good. Keep. Turn 1 tap land. We will play the Cerulean Caretaker. Pass the turn. They ponder. Let's see a shuffle. Chufal. Do it. They did not shuffle. They play basic. We draw land number 3. That's not the worst. So here we'll play the Overgrown Battlement. And then we'll tap for a green. Play the Quirion Ranger. And pass the turn. They ponder. And they did not shuffle again. So they're holding open possible removal or 1 mana counterspell. The Leaf Color was an interesting draw. Let's make a red mana here. We'll play the Tuk Tuk Rubble Fort. Tap for 2 green. I'm sorry, 3 green. And now we can untap the Overgrown Battlement by returning a forest. Replay it. Play the Shield Wall Sentinel. Yes. Let's go grab an Axebane Guardian. We'll play the Guardian. So it would make 5. I'm actually 1 mana short of being able to attempt to win here. Let's play Irachi Leaf Caller. And send a message. We'll get in there for 1. They bolt my Guardian. Okay. And now they have open counterspell mana. Cerulean Caretaker. We'll play the Caretaker. Play our land for turn. This taps for a bunch of green. And then we'll filter. Transmute the Drift of Phantasms. We'll get another Drift of Phantasms. Convert that into blue mana. And now we'll grab Reaping the Graves. And we'll attempt to return both copies of Drift of Phantasms. So basically this was just like a really bad divination. Sorry, my mouse died there for a second. Yeah, the other Drift. I lost some seconds there. They're going to counterspell. That's interesting. Do I have the win now? I can make infinite mana. That's actually not enough to win. But I can untap the Battlement. Make 5. Now we'll transmute again. I think I just want Third Path Savant. We'll go to combat. Swing. Breath Weapon. That hurts. Okay, so they got our Quirion Ranger and the Leaf Caller. Axebane Guardian off the top was huge. Play the Axebane. We'll make a bunch of blue mana. Play the Third Path Savant. Make a bunch more mana. Let's activate the Savant to draw 2. Let's tap for a white. Play the Crimson Acolyte. And now we'll go to combat. I am the beatdown. They play a Ponder. And Brainstorm. Tolarian Terror. Okay. And then they just conceded. I'll take it. We are now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. We are back at it in the third match. We're on the draw. I'm going to gladly keep this hand. Likely Affinity here. Raven Inspector. Ornithopter feels very Affinity-like. Reaping the Graves. We'll play our Cerulean Caretaker and then pass the turn. Ginger Brute. Frogmite. I'll block one, take one. I go to 19. Our opponent has 3 cards left in their hand. Drift of Phantasms. We're doing decent so far. Play the Overgrown Battlement. Now we'll tap for green. Play another Cerulean Caretaker. Defender count is currently 3. Another Ginger Brute. So now we'll take 5. Oh, no, I guess I get to block 1. So we'll take 3. We draw a land. Okay, so this isn't a win, right? Play the Leaf Caller. Yeah, this isn't a win. Or at least I don't think it is. 3 mana. Filter for blue. Filter for blue. Transmute Drift. Go grab Freed from the Reel. Tap for blue. Played the Freed from the Reel on the Overgrown Battlement. Pass the turn. As far as I know, this deck doesn't have main deck removal, so this was a pretty free play. And then next turn we just have infinite mana into the win. Oh, they're on the red version. Okay. Most lists are blue-white right now. So I could have been punished there. I wasn't, but I could have been. We'll start with the Winding Way. Creature. We'll tap for a blue. Tap. Played Secret Door. And our opponent concedes. Nice. They weren't going to make me go through the combo. I appreciate that. Affinity. We probably want Gorilla Shaman. I'm actually going to board out the Secret Door. I don't feel like that's a card I really want in the matchup. Although it is a win condition if Valakut Invoker gets answered, so I don't know. Maybe let's take out the Avacyn's Pilgrims and 1 Shield Wall Sentinel. Previously, and I mean like the last time I played this deck, the stock list only played 2 Shield Walls. It's changed a little bit since then. Also, my last video might actually be a Trophy League. Just throwing that out there. Brags. Full mulligan. Too clunky. Guess we'll keep this. Bottom the Shield Wall Sentinel. This is not a hand I love, but it does allow you to possibly play Magic. Okay. Play the Cerulean Caretaker and we'll pass. Springleaf Drum into a Raven Inspector. We draw another land. So we'll play Quirion Ranger, pass the turn. Oh, that's obnoxious. This is not a card you see too often anymore. If a spell or an ability could target this card, it has to. So, for example, if I try to Quirion Ranger my Cerulean Caretaker, it has to target the Standard Bearer. That is not good for me. We find a Lead the Stampede. Okay, let's cast it. So I can untap, pick up a land, replay the land. We'll play the Leaf Caller, pass the turn. They drew a card off a clue. We'll take 6 here. I go to 14. The 4th Quirion Ranger. Okay, we'll tap for red. Play the Tuk Tuk. Untap the Standard Bearer. Return a forest. Replay it. Play the Quirion Ranger. We'll pass. I'm not sure how I get out of this. They draw a card. I wonder if it's just clog up the board until I can eventually win. They Galvanic Blast my Rumble Fort. Sure, I'll take 6 again. I go to 8. Jasper a Sentinel. Tap for blue. We'll play the Drift. I mean, it blocks a Mirror Enforcer. And then untap the Forest. We'll play the Jasper a Sentinel. Pass the turn. Ginger Brute, you pesky little creature. Yep. Alright, so we will block the Mirror Enforcer, throw a Jasper a Sentinel in front, and double block the Thraben Inspector? Maybe I should have done that sooner. Okay, so I took 1 in that exchange. Okay, well, I think this turn I want to deploy the Axebane Guardian. I could also try to play... No, I'm 1 mana short. Alright, we'll just pass. Synthesizer. Destroy Evil. Destroy a creature with toughness 4 or greater or enchantment, so they can kill my Drift of Phantasms. And they do. Ginger Brute is now unblockable. I'm going to throw 2 Quirion Rangers in front of the Thraben Inspector. And I don't think I actually need the Irachi Leafcaller, so we'll throw that away. I'll take 1, I go to 6. Okay, so Overgrown Battlement. So now this taps for 3. Play the Drift of Phantasms. We'll untap a forest. Replay the Quirion Ranger. Pass the turn. Synthesizer, they hit a Springleaf Drum. They play the drum. And Ornithopter, they have 1 card in their hand. They attack for 1, I'll go to 5. We draw land 3, we'll play Lead the Stampede. Gorilla Shaman, that is a good one. Okay, I mean, is it even a good one in this spot? I don't know. Make 4, we'll play the Drawbridge. Make some more mana. Play Third Path Savant. Maybe I was supposed to play the Shaman. I mean, I was clicking too fast and I think I just punted. Tap for a red. We'll play the Shaman. Target their drum. Pass the turn. I can't block the Ginger Brute. Another Mirror Enforcer off the top. That's scary. Okay, well next turn I can Crashing Drawbridge and secretly block the Ginger Brute. But I have to live. And now I'm in Galvanic Blast range. We'll play Overgrown Battlement. Tap this. Make 6 mana, 7 mana. Draw 2. Player land. Flamewood Invoker here was terrific. Tap. Let's draw 2 more. Untap. Replay my land. Oh, apparently I've already played a land. We will pass. I wonder if Soul Bond gets around the standard Leaf Bearer. I don't know. All that glitters. So we'll give our creatures haste. Now go to blocks. Put 1 in front of the Mirror Enforcer. I'll put a Quirion Ranger in front of the Ginger Brute. And put the Gorilla Shaman in front of the Mirror Enforcer. Like, Gorilla Shaman's not even useful here. Crashing Drawbridge coming up huge there. Okay. Tap for a bunch of green. We'll play an Axebane Guardian. Make a blue. Tap the Quirion Ranger. Play Galvanic Alchemist. Soul Bond to my Axebane Guardian. And I believe that gives me infinite mana now. Now we'll untap. Player land. Play the Irachi Leafcaller. Untap. We'll make a bunch more mana. And our opponent concedes. We got there. Nice. All right, 2-1. Walls is coming back. 2 matches left to go. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Back at it for match number 4. We're on the draw, and we will keep. Our opponent's taking a mulligan. Island into Delver of Secrets. Okay. Irachi Leafcaller was the draw. We'll play our Avacyn's Pilgrim and pass the turn. They upkeep Brainstorm. They reveal a Lorien Revealed. We'll take 3. We go to 17. Axebane Guardian. So we'll tap for some mana here, play a Quirion Ranger. And then we will untap the Avacyn's Pilgrim, return the Forest. Play the Forest. Play our Axebane Guardian. Pass the turn. The actual mana dorks like Avacyn's Pilgrim, some lists play something like a Mystic, Elvish Mystic, things like that. Those ones are really nice because they do allow a turn to Axebane Guardian, where Jasper or Sentinel does not. They have Snap in their hand. That's unfortunate. So now they have Counterspell available. We'll take 3 down to 14. Another Axebane. Untap the Avacyn's Pilgrim, return the Forest. Play the Forest. Axebane Guardian again. You have Counterspell. Do not. That's good. Play the Irachi Leafcaller. Send it back. Actually, get in there. Hiya. Another Snap. Sheesh. Alright, I'm going to go to 11. They have 3 cards now. Valerian Terror. I'm running out of time. Lead the Stampede. I think the way to win this game is via Rubble Fort at the moment. We'll create a red. Really wish I had 1 more mana in this game. We'll play the Rubble Fort. And I have to pass. So if I don't block the Tolarian Terror, I am dead. I'm gonna throw the Irachi Leaf Caller underneath the bus here. I don't actually need it to win the game. 3 more mana for a Cryptic Serpent. So it looks like I have the ability to combo unscathed this turn. Another Axebane Guardian. Okay. So we'll start with Overgrown Battlement. This makes 2 mana. And then I have to use the Korean Ranger to untap the Axebane Guardian. Or the Overgrown Battlement, I'm sorry. And now we tap it for 2. We'll play Axebane Guardian. This taps for more mana. Whoops, cancel, cancel, cancel. We'll play another Axebane Guardian. Okay. And we'll tap that for mana. Play Axebane Guardian. Now we will lead the Stampede. And that was a giant miss. I'm in trouble now. Tap for mana. Winding Way. Creature. Alright, so I think that might be enough here. Tap for green. Actually, hold on. Undo. Let's play the Caretaker first. Now we'll tap for green. 7 mana. We'll play Korean Ranger. We don't need another Irachi Leaf Caller, so we're not going to play that. I'll play the Shield Wall Sentinel, which can go get a Drift of Phantasms. We will untap an Axebane Guardian, returning the Forest. Tap it for a bunch of blue mana. And now we will transmute the Drift. Get a Freed from the Reel. Play it on our Axebane Guardian. Untap. Infinite mana. Untap again. Tap. We'll make a bunch of red this time. Play the the Valakut Invoker. And now I just have to tap and untap roughly 1 million times. And our opponent concedes. Thank you, opponent. Going into game number 2, I do like Dispel and Negate in this matchup. I don't like Tamiyo's Safekeeping against MonoBlue, just the counter spells. So how you board is up to your discretion. I think I still like boarding down just a couple copies of the Shield Wall Sentinel, and then like maybe one of each of the Winding Way effects. Or you can board out like Avacyn's Pilgrim, because you're not boarding in the white cards. Maybe let's do that instead. If you wanted to be less color intensive, I think something you could do is cut the Tuk Tuk Rebel Fort, and then cut the Avacyn's Pilgrims, and instead of Avacyn's Pilgrim, you could play like Elvish Mystic and 1 Llanowar Elves. And when you cut the Tuk Tuk Rebel Fort, you would play a second copy of Drawbridge, and you wouldn't have to play Jasper or Sentinel anymore. So you could play Wall of Roots or just more Elvish Mystics, things like that. Because I think Jasper or Sentinel isn't great, but it's just tough when you need red mana and blue mana and then white mana post board, or even mana for a Guerrilla Shaman. It just becomes very difficult. It's slow. I'm going to keep it though. Hope that they don't open up on turn 1 Delver. And they do! Alright, punish me. We draw a Rebel Fort, we'll pass the turn. An upkeep Brainstorm. Reveals Mental Note. We'll take 3 down to 17. Land number 4. This is not panning out. I was hoping to draw some creatures that would accelerate me, but it just hasn't happened. They played the Mental Note and milled 2 islands. That was good for them. They knew about one of the islands due to the Brainstorm. They thought Scour themselves. Well, this time they had 2 Cryptic Serpent, so life finds a way to balance itself out. 2 mana open. They attack for 3. We'll go to 14. I'm going to see if they bite on countering a Winding Way. They Brainstorm in response. Winding Way. Creature. Found a couple. We'll play a land. And I now have 8 cards in my hand, so I need to discard. They shuffle with a Lorien Revealed. I'm just going to get rid of a Rebel Fort. Like, we don't even have 1 color, yet alone 2. They attack for 3, I go to 11. They still have 5 cards in their hand here. Galarian Terror, and another Terror. Okay, we'll Winding Way again. Creature. I'm going to go to the next game. Maybe I should have done that, because now they know that I have Dispel and Negate in my deck. We were just way too slow that game. I should have mulliganed. Bring the Pilgrims back in. I am going to board out one of each of these effects. Let's try this. I'd also just board out Secret Door. I might like that a little bit more here. But also board out 1 Rebel Fort. Game number 3, we're on the play. Too clunky. Send it back. Not ideal. We're just being punished. Going to 5. Bottom the Shield Wall Sentinel and the Drawbridge. Actually, I think it's probably the 3rd path. Okay. Play the forest, pass the turn. And there we saw a little bit of what I was talking about, I believe, in game 1, where I bottomed us really Caretaker because it wouldn't play a turn 2 Axebane Guardian. Like, the needing another creature to assist it thing does hurt. We'll play the Crashing Drawbridge. I mean, hindsight being 2020, but if I don't hit land 3, maybe I was supposed to bottom the Shield Wall Sentinel, but I think that's a little bit revisionist after drawing to lead the Stampede. They cycle using a Lorien Revealed. They grab a basic. And another Delver of Secrets. I go to 17. We missed the land drop. We have to pass. They upkeep Brainstorm. Delver of Secrets flips to a Thought Scour. And they have the third land here. That's particularly backbreaking because now they have Counterspell mana open. 2 mana. They snap my Drawbridge. Mental Note. Wow. We were just getting destroyed here. We'll play the Pilgrim. Oh, this stinks. If I play the Drawbridge, I have to block. Because they have exact lethal on board. Okay. I just don't think... There wasn't much I could have done. The Mental Note. And I have to block. So we'll throw the Drawbridge in front of Tolarian Terror. There just isn't a way for me through this. Yeah. Alright. So we get smushed, and I am now 2-2 with 1 match left to go. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The 5th and final round, we are on the play. Sure. Play the forest and pass. Our opponent plays a swamp and then passes. We'll play the Overgrown Battlement. Bazooka Bog. Not very good against walls. Winding Way. I think I'm actually going to lead this team. We pick up 2 cards. That could have been better. Play the Quirion Ranger. We'll pass the turn after that. We play a Tithing Blade. I'll sacrifice the Quirion Ranger. So we're likely facing the Gardens deck here, and they appear to be sort of stuck on mana. I'll play the Shield Wall Sentinel, and I'm going to go grab Axebane Guardian. Pass the turn. Another Tithing Blade. Goodbye, Caretaker. Land number 4. Play the Axebane Guardian. Tap the Battlement. We'll play a Winding Way. We'll choose Creature. We pick up 4 that time. Play a Quirion Ranger. Untap the Overgrown Battlement. Play another Shield Wall Sentinel. And we will pick up another Axebane Guardian here. Pass the turn. A 3rd Tithing Blade. We'll get rid of a Shield Wall Sentinel. Cerulean Caretaker. We'll play a Caretaker. Play Axebane Guardian. Tap for some mana. Play a Galvanic Alchemist. Our opponent needs double Snuff out here. And they concede. Sweet. We're facing likely Golgari Gardens. I want the Acolyte. I also think that Tamiyo Safekeeping is pretty good in this matchup, so I like bringing those in. What to board out? I think Lead the Stampede and Winding Way are actually pretty important in this matchup. Just like your opponent overloads on removal, so having card advantage is good. You could definitely board out 1 Rubble Fort. Probably a couple copies of the Shield Wall. Maybe 1 Leaf Caller. It's just a low impact card. And the Jasper Sentinels. Let's try this. Triple Safekeeping. I don't think I'm allowed to keep this hand. This is better. We'll put 3rd Path Savant on the bottom. Really need to draw a 2nd land here. Okay, they're not Golgari Gardens. Interesting. Play a Caretaker. Pass the turn. Tithing Blade, we have to sacrifice our creature. We do not draw the land, we'll play another Caretaker. They play a Glint Hawk, which they can pick up the Tithing Blade. That's scary. That's incredibly good. Yeah. I guess I'll play my Quirion Ranger. And pick up the Forest, and then I'll replay it. They Bazooka Bug me. Okay. Virus Beetle. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. I think you were supposed to play this before the Bazooka Bog, but that's fine. I'll discard Reaping the Graves. We don't need that. I will go to 18. And now we draw the 2nd land. Play the Overgrown Battlement. We'll pass the turn. They cast it down. We'll take 3 going to 15. We'll play another Battlement. Oh, undo, undo, undo. We'll attack for 1. I get to use my Quirion Ranger. I accidentally hit the wrong button. That was bad. Untap the Quirion Ranger, pick up a forest. Play it. And now we'll pass. A Deadly Dispute on my end step. I definitely missequenced that turn. I should have used the Quirion Ranger from the start to always have safekeeping open. Another Tithing Blade. Not very nice. Goodbye, Quirion Ranger. They play Omen of the Dead, getting back their Beetle. And Beetle is back. Going to discard the drawbridge. We'll take 2, we go to 13. Alchemist. Doesn't really help a whole lot here. Lead the Stampede or Winding Ways are likely my best draws. They play a Goliath Paladin, so they now have the initiative. My time is running out. They play the land that they get off the initiative. I go to 11. Ephemerate. That is particularly good here. Yeah, okay. Goodbye, Tameo Safekeeping. Alright, so there's a chance we could potentially top deck into a win. I mean, it's pretty unlikely, but I'm going to end up discarding my Galvanic Alchemist here to the Virus Beetle, most likely. And that's exactly what happens. So I would need like a nuts lead the Stampede in order to win this game, I think. They play a land. I'm going to take 7. So if they have another Ephemerate or another Goliath Paladin, I lose due to the Undercity going to trap. But I need defenders in order to win this. So if they have it, they have it. They play a Deadly Dispute. Tithing Blade. Their draw step is not a card we needed. Alright, game 3. I don't even know if Acolyte's good. Is that crazy? I feel like with all the Tithing Blades that maybe Acolyte isn't even that good here. Which means that maybe Tameo Safekeeping isn't that great here. Okay, we're going to reverse our boarding just a tad bit. We're going to bring in the Jasper Sentinels and the Shield Walls. Let's try this. On the play. Nope. I guess we'll try this. Get rid of Leaf Caller. We'll play a Cerulean Caretaker. They have a turn 1 black-white land. Third Path Savant. We'll just play a few creatures here. They play a second land. Virus Beetle. Discard Third Path Savant. Overgrown Battlement isn't a terrible draw. We'll play that. Tithing Blade. Sacrifice the Jasper Sentinel. And a Glint Hawk. We are definitely in trouble here. Draw for turn. So Overgrown Battlement is not Axebane Guardian, so I can't make infinite blue mana here. If this was an Axebane Guardian, this would actually just be the win. Tap for blue. That actually doesn't work the way I want. So, okay, what I can do is this. Play Secret Door. And then we will tap the Secret Door, and we'll play the Freed from the Real. And I would have to draw Arachi Leafcaller in order to win. They play the Tithing Blade. We'll sacrifice one of the Cerulean Caretakers. They attack for 3. We'll go to 17. Galvanic Alchemist. It doesn't really help me here. So I can tap for 3, 4, 5. Make a blue. Venture into the dungeon. I have no idea what these things do, so I'm going to Google this. Alright, so I found this image. So Scry 1, each player loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Then Dungeon Level 2 is Scry 1, where if I go here, I can create a 1/1 or create a treasure. I think Dungeon of the Mad Mage has the best ultimate, but maybe that's wishful thinking. I'm going to go with Dungeon of the Mad Mage. They'll gain 1 life. Pass the turn. They ephemerate on the Glint Hawk. And they pick up the Tithing Blade. And now they ephemerate on the Virus Beetle. Well, who knows? They could ephemerate on the Glint Hawk again. But they're going to ephemerate on the Virus Beetle. I'll discard my Alchemist. They play a Campus. And Tithing Blade is back. Goodbye, Cerulean Caretaker. We'll take 2. 4 Skyfisher. Okay. Leaf Caller. Lead the Stampede. Let's play it. This was a draw 5. That's not the worst thing ever. We'll play a Pilgrim. And pass the turn. They attack for 4. I'll fall to 12 life. Tithing Blade is back. I'll sacrifice the Everson's Pilgrim. 3 mana for an Inspiring Overseer. So they gain a life and draw a card. They play a land that taps for 2 mana and they pass. Another Lead the Stampede. We'll play Axebane Guardian and an Avacyn's Pilgrim. Pass the turn. They play a Lembas, so they get to scry 1 and draw a card. They scryed to the top. I don't like that. They have 6 damage in the air here. So I'm going to go to 6 life. They ephemerate their Inspiring Overseer. 2 mana for another Tithing Blade. Sacrifice the Avacyn's Pilgrim. Okay, that was not the worst. We get a turn to potentially try to win here. Tap for 3 green. Let's lead the Stampede. That was not what we wanted. So we'll play a Cerulean Caretaker. I wonder if I can still win from here. Play another Caretaker. Tap for a bunch of blue. And now we'll untap. Tap for a bunch of green. Let's transmute the Drift. I feel like maybe I messed up and I should have made a red for the Tuk Tuk. Grab a Lead the Stampede. Untap. Tap again. Let's lead the Stampede. Quirion Ranger was great here. We'll play the Quirion Ranger. And now I can untap the Axebane Guardian. Now we'll tap this. I'll make at least 1 red this time. And now I can play the Rebel Fort. Untap. Tap again. Play the Axebane Guardian. Player land for turn. Let's play another Shield Sentinel. This is a kind of a cool win. Grab the Battlement. Play the Battlement. Tap for a bunch of mana. Play the Jasper Sentinel. Tap for a red. Play the Valakut Invoker. And our opponent concedes. Nice, we got it. Alright, so we went 3-2. Not exactly the best record in the league, but hey, I haven't played Walls in some time and it felt pretty good. So, my thoughts moving forward. I think I would like to try to experiment with a cleaner list. I think that I am less interested in these white creatures now that Tamiyo Safekeeping exists. And I think that I'm also not crazy about Gorilla Shaman anymore. So Gorilla Shaman, when I had it against Affinity, just didn't feel like it did enough. So maybe I shouldn't be playing this card. And instead I could play just more naturalized style effects. Not exactly naturalized, but things that exile an artifact or creature. Or artifact or enchantment. I do think that these cards, the time is kind of come and gone on them. Like, Tamiyo Safekeeping just covers what these do without needing white mana. So I want to play no Avacyn's Pilgrims, no Jasper Sentinels, and I'd probably go back to, like, Tinderwalls if I'm being honest. I really like Tinderwall. And Tinderwall means that Tuk Tuk Rebel Fort is still good, and it allows you to turn to Axebane Guardian more often. You could also play Elvish Mystics or things like that, but I really like the increased defender count and the stability with always having turn to Axebane Guardian. So I would probably lose these. I'd play for Tinderwall in those spots. I mean, you don't need to agree with me. I realize that most of the Walls community doesn't like Tinderwall, but it's always just been very good to me. So that's what I'm interested in trying, but I liked the main deck other than that. I kind of feel like maybe you could try a 14th land, or even playing the Generous Ent, but I did mulligan a lot, but I don't know where you would find the slots if you wanted to play Tinderwalls. So that's just something worth thinking about. These are all sort of just like madman thoughts. I also don't have 7 cards I'd want to add to the sideboard. I'd probably have to do some research, but those are my thoughts. If you have any good ideas, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. But League number 2 of the day is done. I'm going to try to record a third before I have family responsibilities. Let's see if we can get that done as well. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. After you do that, open up our description where you can find all of our social media networks, including our Discord, where you can discuss today's deck in that Discord with me and tons of other combo masterminds. It's absolutely free to join, and it's certainly worth your while.